Oh, wow. How did she get that? She enjoyed it. The crowd love it on ground.
Eala has done it again, and this time she did it in style. After surviving a long, exhausting, mentally draining battle against Laura Siegemund, a match that tested every part of her game, Eala returned to the Miami Open court and delivered one of the most complete performances of her run so far. Facing Magda Linette, a player full of confidence after a big win earlier in the tournament, Eala didn't look tired or emotionally spent. Instead, she looked sharper, stronger, and more locked in than ever. That's what made this victory stand out. It wasn't just that she won, it was how she won. The control, the composure, the shot selection, the confidence, and the belief were there from the first point to the last. This wasn't a lucky escape or a late comeback. This was Eala stepping onto the court with intent, playing like she belonged, and proving once again that her rise is very real. And to truly understand the performance, you have to look at the context. Linette came into this match with serious momentum. She had already shown she could challenge top players and carried the belief of someone ready to make a deep run. That kind of confidence can make any opponent dangerous. But Eala didn't let that factor in. She didn't play the name, the narrative, or the occasion, she played her game. And when she plays with that kind of clarity and conviction, she becomes incredibly difficult to stop. From the very beginning, it was clear she meant business. She came out with authority, reading the court well, stepping into rallies early, and taking control instead of reacting. There was a noticeable difference in energy. Linette had her moments, she produced quality shots and tried to stay competitive, but for most of the first set, Eala held the edge. She was more decisive in key exchanges, more composed under pressure, and more willing to step forward and dictate play. That first set told a deeper story. It reflected a player who had learned and grown from the battle against Siegemund. In that match, Eala had to dig deep mentally, handling long rallies, repeated deuces, constant momentum shifts, and mental distractions. It was a test of patience, discipline, and emotional control as much as skill. Experiences like that can either wear a player down or elevate them. For Eala, it clearly made her stronger. You could see it in her approach against Linette. There was maturity in her decisions, purpose in her movement, and calmness in her demeanor. No panic, no rushing, no wasted energy, just focus. She looked like someone who had already faced the storm and come out tougher on the other side. So when she secured the first set 6-3, it didn't feel surprising, it felt earned. The scoreline reflected exactly what was happening on court. Eala had been the better player, controlled the key moments, and stayed composed whenever Linette tried to shift momentum. Most importantly, she sent a clear message: she wasn't just here to compete, she was here to win. Then came the second set, and that's where the performance became even more impressive. Eala came out strong again, maintaining the pressure and refusing to give Linette any rhythm. At times it looked like she might run away with the match entirely. She built her advantage by staying aggressive yet controlled, never overplaying, always choosing the right moments to attack. When rallies tightened, she kept finding solutions, serving with confidence, striking cleanly, and constructing points with intent. Every part of her game looked sharp, and every decision looked deliberate. It was the performance of a player not just riding momentum, but fully in control of it. To her credit, Magda Linette didn't fade away. She kept fighting, kept pushing, and found a way to work herself back into the set. And that's exactly the moment where many young players lose control. You build a lead, you sense the finish line, and suddenly your opponent raises the level and everything starts to shift. Doubt creeps in, frustration builds, and momentum can flip in an instant. But once again, Eala showed real growth. She didn't let Linette's comeback shake her. She stayed composed, didn't panic, and resisted the urge to force low-percentage shots. She trusted her game and kept competing. When the set moved into a tiebreak, it became the ultimate mental test, and Eala passed it with authority. She looked like the calmer, clearer player, making smarter decisions and handling pressure better. When it mattered most, she elevated her level, closing the tiebreak 7-3. That wasn't just about winning the set, it was about showing composure, maturity, and the ability to finish strong even after momentum had shifted. That's a major sign for any rising player. Talent can win points, but mentality wins matches like this. And if there's one thing this Miami Open run is proving, it's that Eala is getting mentally stronger with every round. The battle against Laura Siegemund was a grind, physically exhausting and mentally demanding, the kind of match that forces a player to deal with discomfort, frustration, and fatigue all at once. Eala came through it, and then turned that experience into a straight sets win over Linette. That's the mark of a player learning quickly, building real confidence, and starting to understand what it takes to win consistently at this level. Another standout aspect of her performance was the serve. For a long time, discussions around Eala focused on her movement, baseline strength, and shot variety. But in this match, her serve looked like a true weapon. And that changes everything. When your serve earns free points, sets up rallies on your terms, and helps you escape pressure moments, your entire game becomes more dangerous. For Eala, that confidence on serve looked earned. It looked refined, improved, and no longer like a weakness. That's why this performance feels bigger than just one win. It wasn't a one-off, it felt like a player putting all the pieces together. The physical tools are there, the shot making is there, the resilience is growing, and the confidence is building. Even the areas that once looked vulnerable are starting to look solid. This is how real breakthroughs happen. Not all at once, but gradually, match by match, challenge by challenge, until suddenly it's clear a player has arrived. And heading into the next stage, the excitement around Eala is only going to grow. When you come through a 3-hour mental battle and then follow it up with a composed straight sets win over another dangerous opponent, people take notice. They stop seeing just potential and start seeing substance. They start seeing a competitor ready to go further. What makes Eala so exciting right now is her versatility. Against Siegemund, she had to endure a battle of patience and resilience. Against Linette, she showed control and authority. That ability to adapt, to handle different styles, rhythms, and pressures, is what separates good players from great ones. And there's something else that stands out: belief. Eala looks like she truly believes now, not just in moments but throughout entire matches. You can see it in her body language, in how she handles setbacks, and in how she closes out big points. When belief catches up with talent, everything changes. That's why this Miami Open run feels so important. Eala didn't just win again, she made a statement. After a brutal battle with Siegemund, she came back and defeated Linette with confidence, discipline, and mental strength. She controlled the first set, stayed composed through the second set pressure, dominated the tiebreak, and reminded everyone that her rise is accelerating. If this is the version of Eala we're seeing now, calm under pressure, stronger on serve, mentally tougher, and more confident in big moments, then the rest of the field needs to take notice. This is no longer just a good run. This is the emergence of a serious contender who looks like she's only getting started.